Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are having a good day so far. So in this video today we'll be building this random color palette using only JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. So on our right hand side we have our finished product, and how this project works is pretty simple. You just have to click this button and it's going to generate a random hexadecimal color on each of these boxes every single time. So as you notice, it just changed colors again to a random hexadecimal colors, and there's millions of these possible combinations. Well, not millions, a lot more than that. So you're most likely going to get a random color every single time, and it's going to be a while before you actually repeat the same color. So let's get started. This might be helpful if you can't think of a good color for your coding project, so you may need this to help you actually see the color. I'll go in between my two body tags and create a button with the ID of button and then an onClick event. Instead of doing .add event lister, I'm going to use onClick this time, and all we're going to do is location.reload. And this is pretty straightforward because when we click on the button it's just going to reload our page, and this I'll just call it refresh. So now it reloads our page every time we click the button, which is great. And then we'll create a script tag and then a for loop, and I'll create a variable called I, and while I is less than or equal to 100, you can change I to be less than whatever number you want it to be. So if you want 200 squares, then you can change this to 200. It's your choice. You can make as many squares as you want. Just try not to make like a million, or else it might crash your computer or slow down your computer, because that's happened to me before. And then we'll create a variable called box and do document.createElement, and for each iteration of the loop we're going to create a div every single time, and we're going to do div.classList.add. So we're basically giving it a class name of box. You can give it whatever you want as well. And now to actually append it onto our browser, we have to do document.body.appendChildBox. It's sort of like the push method in JavaScript. And then we can do function random color. So this function will generate a random color using these characters I'm about to type. So it's var chars equals a set of characters, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then A all the way to F, so A, B, C, D, E, F. And make sure they're all lowercase, because all these letters are what are used to generate all possible hexadecimal combination colors. So now we can do var color length equal 6, since the length of a hexadecimal color is 6 characters. And then we'll do var color equals an empty string, because we'll be taking a random character from this variable right here, either 0, 1, or any of those, and we're going to append it onto this variable color right here to actually generate our random color. And then we can create one more for loop and do for var I equals 0. And the reason why we can use I again in the same for loop is because I is not in the same scope. What I mean is this I is out here and this I is in here, so it won't get referred to this right here, which is why. And don't worry, I'll explain more how variable scoping works in future videos. For now we'll just go along with the video, and then we'll do while I is less than color length I plus plus. So we're going to create another variable called var random color equals math.floor math.random times chars.length. Chars.length is however long this string is, however many characters there are. It's going to multiply that by that value, and it's going to change over time if you keep adding on more characters. So if you add on more characters, then this chars.length will no longer be like, what is it, 10 right now? Yeah, if you add 2 more characters, then it would be 12. Then we'll do color plus equals chars.substring. And this is actually where we extract out the random character out of this chars variable right here. And then we can do random color and do random color plus 1 for our 2 parameters. And for our function, we want to return the # plus the color, since all hexadecimal colors start with a #. And then we'll create another function called function add color, and then we're going to create a variable called var random box equals document.querySelector all box. So basically what we're doing here is we're selecting all 100 of our boxes that we created in this for loop right here with the class name of box, which is why we did document.querySelector all .box, because that's the class name of those 100 boxes. And now I'm going to use a JavaScript array method, so it's the for each method. So random box dot for each. And what we want to do for each box in the node list is give it a parameter, So we're using arrow functions right now, and inside this function we just want to do e.style.background color equals random color. So since this function right here, it's returning a color, returning a # plus the color. So color is this right here. That's why we called the function inside of this function add color function. And then we'll also do e.innerHTML equals random color, so that we can actually see what the hexadecimal color for this random color is, so we can maybe copy and paste it and use it in our code in future projects or things like that. And right now we don't really see anything yet, because besides our button, because we haven't added any CSS. So let's go do that right now. So for the boxes, I'm going to give them a width of 200 pixels, height of 200 pixels, background color will be red for now, so that we can see it. And then margin 10 pixels, display flex, justify content, center. This is just going to center our items along the x-axis, so it's going to center it horizontally. And then align items, this is going to do the opposite. It's going to center it on the y-axis. And then font family will be sans serif, then cursor pointer, and then font weight bold. Font size will be 2.7 rem. And then for our body, we'll just do display grid template columns repeat 6 auto, and then we'll do column gap, and then position absolute, top 20%, left 50%, transform translate -50%, 0, then width 100%, height 100%. And then for our button, we're just going to do font size 3.4 rem, position absolute, and then left 50%, so we're going to move it to the left halfway across our browser. And then top -110 pixels, which is pretty much the same thing as bottom positive 110 pixels, since they're the opposite of each other. And then width 35%, height 110 pixels, transform translate -50%, 0, then the border will just be none, and I'm also going to give it a cursor of point. And then background color will be RGBA 66, 66, 66, 0.6, which is going to be this gray color. And then border radius, let's just do 50%. No, that's not what I wanted. Maybe we should have just done 100 pixels. Now that looks a little better. And then the text color will be white, so it shows up a little better. And when we click on our button, we're going to give it a focus property, and we're going to make sure that the outline goes away by setting the value of it to be none. So now you don't see the outline anymore. But if I were to get rid of this and then refresh and then click my button again, you can see this rectangular outline on the outside of it. It just looks ugly in my opinion, so that's why I'm going to outline none, which just takes away that problem. And then background RGBA 66, 66, 66, 0.4. So basically this is the same color as this right here, except the only difference is that their opacity value is different. So this has a 40% opacity, this has a 60% opacity, so that when we click on it, it indicates telling us that we clicked on it. Like you see how the opacity sort of changed a little, indicating to us that we clicked on it. And the reason why our boxes are not appearing on our browser is because I typed div instead of box. I don't know why I did that. It's not even a div. Well, it is a div. Okay, now we can see our boxes, which is good. And for some reason, it's not changing colors, so I'm going to check my console real quick and see what the error is. Okay, it seems to be there's no errors, but our boxes aren't changing colors, which means there's something wrong with our code. I see what the problem is. The problem is that we forgot to call this function our add color function, which is why it's not changing colors. So we have to call our function by typing add color, a set of parentheses, and now we should be done. Yes. So we can use the refresh button right here, or we can use this icon right here, and it will do the same thing. But I just wanted to do this. Just wanted to create this for fun, to see that you can do the same thing with the button. So yeah guys, this is pretty much it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did enjoy, comment down below what you want to see next for my next video. And other than that guys, I hope you guys enjoy. Go check out my other videos, and I'll see you again in my next video.